P. Diddy got caught and the feds are taking over his whole case. He's gonna have to sell everything, all of his companies, and 50 Cent's gonna buy it all for about $50 million, and he's gonna make sure to give back the money to Cassie, the victims, Tupac's family, Biggie's family, everybody like that, because now that this whole entire thing is getting figured out, they knew that they had people who've been talking this whole time, like Keefe. He basically is kind of like the informant in the situation, because he was an inside person who knew exactly what Diddy did, and he had a lot of dirt on him. And so now that the feds took over the case, it's a 99% success rate. They might do a RICO on Bad Boys, and this whole entire thing is gonna get broken up, because the karma for Tupac, Kim Porter, everybody is hitting right now. He should have left Biggie Smalls and Tupac alone, man, because remember, he said he was trying to get them taken out before they joined together and take Diddy out. That could have happened, man. If you guys are actually supporting Tupac, Biggie, Kim Porter, everybody who got affected, put the 222s in the comments section. Make sure you like and subscribe, because the victims, they're getting their justice now. Everybody's been speaking out. The spokespeople came forward. Why is it that nobody wanted to say anything for the last 30 years and they waited until now, man? It could have been a lot of lives saved. They could have solved a lot of cases. They could have got closure for a lot of families of Biggie and Tupac. A lot of people, they were scared to come forward, man. They felt some type of way that Diddy was going to get them taken out and removed, just like how he did with Tupac and Biggie. If he could pay $1 million to get Pac taken out, then somebody like Cassie and anybody like that, he could have easily got taken out for less. That's why they waited and waited, and they were scared to speak out. They had the NDAs, but the NDAs don't count when they expire, because then now that's why they're able to come forward. That's why everyone from them reality TV shows, Making the Band, all of them people, they speaking out now. And the group of girls that were in that band, Danity Kane, a lot of them, they wanted to write a book about Diddy. They wanted to expose him, just like Cassie. They were going to talk about how he did them wrong, how they know that he's the one who set up Tupac, how they know for a fact that he's the guy, the main one who set up Biggie Smalls into getting hit up too. And the thing is that everybody was keeping quiet for so long, and Keefe D was the only person speaking. And so this is why Diddy, he basically made it to where he spooked a lot of people. He told them, if you ever say anything about what just happened here, is done for them, is over for them. And so this is why they even didn't want to say a word to their family members. They didn't even want to speak to their psychiatrists. Like, they went to a lot of different places to get help. And the people that got affected by P. Diddy, man, like, I want to send my condolences to them. The mother of Tupac, the mother of Biggie, like, they should have never deserved that. But now they're saying that Diddy's getting his karma, and everything that he's getting hit with left and right, he deserves it, because he should have left all them people alone. He's a grown man. He made his decisions. He wanted to be greedy. He wanted to have more than the next person. He wanted to be the top person and have everybody be underneath him. He wanted to have the control, the power, money hungry. It got to his head and it changed him. He wasn't humble no more. He wasn't acting like what he was acting like when he grew up out of New York, and they supposed to be giving back to the community and everything like that. Diddy, he was being selfish, man. He wanted everything for himself, and this is the type of attitude that pushed him further and further into actually taking people out, not caring about what happened to Kim Porter and Biggie and Pac and everything like that. He was basically just all up in the music videos, dancing and everything like that. He wanted this East Coast and West Coast beef to go on only to benefit him. It didn't benefit nobody else. The person who got the most out of this whole thing was Diddy and the people who pay him and the higher ups and everything like that. One thing people gotta realize is that you can't trust nobody, including these celebrities and everything. They playing a two life game, you know. In front of the camera, they acting like this, and they want to show a perfect life and post it on social media, in the movies and the music videos. But then behind closed doors, you gotta ask Cassie. Behind closed doors, Diddy was a completely different person. He had her chained up in the dungeon, didn't even give her nothing. She was eating out of water, like the water bowl for the dog and everything like that. Like, they was treating her wrong, man. And one thing people gotta realize is that all of this stuff is gonna catch up to Diddy, and this is why everything is coming out right now. What he did in the dark is coming to light, and he's basically paying the consequences for it, because he should have never did that. Everybody knows that once he got $100 million, he could have kicked back and cooled it and didn't have to do all the extra stuff, but he didn't want to stop there. in order for him to get to the billionaire status, he had to do what he had to do to Cassie. He had to do what he had to do to Tupac and Biggie, because he knew at the end of the day that this was what he wanted, and basically he wanted to try to be the king of New York. And that's why 50 Cent is coming up, Mike Tyson is coming up, and they're trying to stop Diddy from actually like getting to that level, basically, because they knew that Diddy, what he did was wrong, man. Tupac tried to warn Mike Tyson. He said, I feel like Diddy's gonna do something because of this whole East Coast West Coast beef going on. And that's exactly what happened. That's why the night that Pac got hit up, Mike Tyson was mad, because Tupac was one of Mike Tyson's closest best friends, and he knew the behind the scenes of what was going on between Diddy, Biggie, and Pac, the whole entire thing that Suge Knight was talking about what Snoop Dogg was doing with them. And this is why Mike Tyson told them to move carefully. He wanted Tupac to come back to his VIP locker room after the fight. But when they went to Club 626 and they were supposed to go to Suge Knight's place, that's why everybody thought that Suge Knight set up Tupac. Because how is it that Suge Knight was taking him to his club and everything like that? They had their whole entire entourage behind Tupac, but he still ends up getting hit up just the same way that Biggie Smalls got hit up, where the people pulled up next to him at the red light. You cannot stop and be lingering and be caught lacking at the red lights. You got to keep your head on a swivel. Tupac was caught in the left lane, like they was in the left lane making a left turn, and Biggie, like Diddy told the driver to run the red light to make Biggie's car get stuck at the red light, and then he was nowhere to be found after the whole like thing happened, man. One thing people gotta understand is that Pdiddy's hands, he got caught red-handed. His hands are tied into all the little things that's been going on, man, and this is hip-hop history. After 27 years, the information coming out, if it wasn't for Keefe D saying what he said and having the feds put him on the radar, then Cassie and them would have never came out and got justice, because they was already too scared to talk. Like a lot of people, they was basically hiding behind the bushes waiting for somebody to come forward and start the whole Diddy thing off. Then it snowball affected into like 10 different victims coming forward and saying what they had to say. They had Columbus Short come forward. He said that they tried him. The dudes from B5, Danity Kane, all of the people including Mike Tyson, Kevin Hart, and Usher, they came forward. Columbus Short came forward, and then now you see everybody else doing exactly what they did. Like now it's a snowball effect to all the people coming out of the woodwork saying that this happened to them. This is why them big companies started dropping P. Diddy. They sold Revolt TV. The Breakfast Club is not owned by him anymore, and Ciroc dropped the whole partnership because he got finessed by Ciroc. Diddy never even owned Ciroc. He was an influencer for them, and so they paid him money to just kept saying the names and being in the commercials and making sure that all the people in the Diddy music videos coming from Bad Boys have Ciroc in the clubs, in the music videos, on camera, so that they could keep selling that product and everything like that. And so now they don't want to have nothing to do with him, because they don't want Cassie and them coming after the Ciroc's money or Sean John money or Revolt money or Macy's or all of these Neiman Marcus, all the stores that was doing work with Diddy. Now they want nothing to do with him, and 50 Cent is coming along and he's trying to buy up all the companies that Diddy's getting kicked out of, and he's gonna take the money and give it back to the victims, man. A lot of the people, they didn't get the millions from P. Diddy. Like Cassie got the $30 million. That's how you know that Diddy actually did what he did to Cassie, because he would have took it to court and fought it if it wasn't true. And so for him to pay that $30 million and then the extra $25 million under the table, and then actually more and more, because they had a whole entire rap sheet on Diddy. They was going to go to the Manhattan DA and get him indicted on these federal charges because of what he did to them, and he was wrong for that. And they basically got the evidence in the surveillance footage showing what they saying is actually what happened. And then this is where they decided that if Diddy just goes ahead and pays them right now and he gives them extra money on the side under the table for hush money, they won't leak the extra information that they got on him, which would end up getting him locked up for 25 to 50 years. This is the reason why Diddy, he's paying off all these people instead of taking it to court, because he knows that he did the things and he can't undo it. There's no way for him to prove that he wasn't there and that he didn't do the things he did. They got the evidence, they got the surveillance and the footage. And this is where he slipped up. He still kept the tapes of everything that happened inside of his mansion. He still kept them in the storage room, man. In the mansion, when the feds raided, they found the security system cameras. They found the pictures that had like a lot of photo albums that Cassie kept. They found the phones that Cassie was using and the text messages that Diddy was sending to threaten all the people and telling her that she had to stay downstairs and everything like that. And then they found the text messages and all of the T-Mobile data phone records showing the fact that Diddy, the conversation that he was having with Keefe, the conversations he was having with the people from Biggie, like he was actually in the mix of the whole thing. And that's why the feds think that Diddy's the main guy. That's why they're going after the head of the snake in this whole entire thing. They want to get the kingpin. They want to get the head honcho, the big boss man, man. And that's why they going after him, because all of the other people, Keefe, he's going to take a plea deal. They already gave him a proffer agreement for him to tell Pdiddy, saying that he wrote the $1 million check to hit up Tupac in exchange for him to basically be able to get his charges dropped from him doing what he was doing in the streets and everything like that. This is why Keefe, he's not going to get taken down without Diddy coming with him, because he knows P. Diddy didn't send that $1 million to him. It got the people who took the money ran off with it, and Diddy knew that could have happened. And so after all these years, Keefe was waiting to get paid off by Diddy. He thought that he was gonna bump into him, or that he would send somebody to bring the money, or that he was somehow, some way give him some sort of gift or something like that equaled the $1 million. And Keefe was waiting, and then one day he decided that he was gonna write the book about it and spill the beans and basically snitch on himself, snitch on P. Diddy and everybody that was in that car with him, and basically tell the feds that Diddy was the one who wrote $1 million check to get Tupac hit up, and that him and his boys pulled up in the Cadillac, and they the ones who did the execution of the whole entire thing. He even talked about how he's the one who passed the strap to the back seat and had his cousin or nephew Orlando Anderson do it. But then a lot of people think that it wasn't Orlando. They think it's the other guy, Big Dre, because they saw the big arm stick out the window, and they said it wasn't a skinny dude, it was a big dude that did it. And so this is where everything got lost in translation. And then Keefe came forward and started speaking out about it, because he thought that because he got the proffer agreement that he didn't get any sort of attachment to what he was about to say. But this is where he went wrong and slipped up, and that's why he ended up getting indicted on all of these things too. And then this is what caused him to have to go meet with Greg Hayden, the investigators who was doing the Tupac, and he told him about how P. Diddy wrote the check. P. Diddy been beeping me and paging me talking about how we need to set up Tupac. How do you think Keefe and them got into that situation? They didn't just randomly stumble into town and run into Pac and decide that because he jumped and stomped out Orlando that they was going to do that to him. They already knew that P. Diddy had the hit sent out and that they was going to capture the $1 million if they happened to find him. They all went to the Mike Tyson fight, and then the issue happened with Pac and his mans and his whole friend group stomping out Orlando from that chain snatching. And then that's when Keefe made the call. He said, you know what, P. Diddy, we gonna accept the offer, we gonna get the $1 million, we found the dude right here, so on and so forth. Then that's when they sent the two girls in the Chrysler Sebring to pull up to the side of him and distract him. Suge Knight was driving, then they pulled up to the side of him, and then that's when they yelled out to Pac, and then boom, the dude hit him from the back seat. Keefe ducked, and then they all ran off and basically drove off, and the people from the entourage, Mob James, tried to chase after them, but then they lost them because they was going through the whole Las Vegas downtown, swerving corners, hitting corners and everything, drifting, and got on the E-way and drove back to Cali and painted the car and everything like that. But then Keefe Diddy, Keefe, they all thought they got away with it. but then Keefe D started telling again, and then Diddy started feeling himself thinking he could get away with that, and he went and did the Biggie Smalls. But then they all got themselves caught because they not super geniuses. They wasn't gonna get away with this type of stuff. And after 30 years, finally the justice is coming, because the karma from the ghost of Tupac and Kim Porter and all of them are gonna make sure that the justice is done, and that they're gonna end up getting what they deserve. And at the end of the day, you gotta subscribe to the channel for all the updates and stories.